I thought that Johnny Somali was bad, and indeed there are many bad things about the Somali case, but robbing graves has to be at the lowest pinnacle.
I think it's just because it's Johnny Somali, the one that got away from Japan and got away from this country and this country, I feel like Korea can do the same thing.
Johnny Somali is now trying out a fresh trick to escape. Some might think this is old news, but that's completely wrong. Right now, people are exposing how Johnny Somali damaged both South Korea and Japan. And now, his fans are beginning to copy his behavior. Why is Johnny Somali facing more charges without even managing to leave Korea? Could it be revenge? Nobody knows. There's even an Australian version of Johnny Somali now going after Japanese culture with a series of crimes. I'll explain that later, but it's clearly a shady move sparked directly by Johnny Somali. Everything happening now is part of strategy, and I'll prove it. So stick around till the end. From day one, Johnny Somali has been using tricks to control people, with his Discord community backing him up. He's always claimed that South Korea is treating him unfairly and denying him free speech.
You understand how bad it goes for you as a foreigner in a foreign country assaulting one of the citizens. It's freedom of speech.
Yep. Through this case, I realized that most people do not understand free speech nor value it.
What you did was free speech.
But that's just another trick, an innocent front to deceive others. Why does he do it? What's the benefit for Johnny Somali? He himself once admitted that everyone is digging into everything he has done, both past and present.
Need to be a little bit more careful because now definitely the world is watching every little thing I do.
So if people now see Johnny Somali acting innocent, they might think he regrets his past actions. But in truth, it's simply another strategy for escape. And if you ask for proof that he actually feels remorse, there is none. Johnny Somali even claimed he apologized for everything. But honestly, Johnny Somali is such a manipulative and vile person that he would never truly apologize. Instead, he throws out empty words just to emotionally blackmail others.
A lot of it is my fault, and for trying to keep pushing the envelope and doubling down and tripling down, it is 110% my fault. It all comes from my actions, so I have to be accountable about those things. And I think if I just go forward, I just tell myself.
After Johnny Somali declared he wants to move on, let me ask you, would you forgive him for what he did? Do you think he deserves another shot? Share your thoughts. But here's the catch. Johnny Somali pulled yet another tactic, his race. Yes, as many already know, Johnny Somali admitted countless times that his actions were only for fame and money.
To other people in other countries for money, for clout.
But the truth is, Johnny Somali is not fully destroyed because of it. By using the name of the black community, Johnny Somali manipulates people and even the authorities. And when it's time to face consequences, he just pulls the card. Oh, you're punishing me because of my color?
Johnny Somali is no problem. I'm walking to my home. Because of black skin? No. Because black skin? No. Black. No.
But the truth is, that's not the sole reason he hasn't completely fallen. By playing the card of the black community, Johnny Somali manipulates not only people but also authorities. And when it's time to face punishment, he instantly says, "Oh, you're coming after me because of my race."
If you write Johnny Somali in Japanese and search it on YouTube and Google and Twitter, like in the rank of famous black people in Japan, I'm not even glazing myself, it goes Michael Jackson, Bob Sapp, Johnny Somali.
速報です。ジョニー・ソマリの弱点が発見されました。
I went to solitary confinement in Japan for 110, 111 days.
You may have seen this before, but this proves how Johnny Somali keeps inventing tactics to dodge consequences. He stirs up chaos himself and later pretends to be innocent. He even went so far as to make a bizarre claim that in Japan, he is a huge figure within the black community. Yes, he seriously compared himself to Michael Jackson and even Bob Sapp, saying his name was spoken alongside theirs in Japan.
I felt like I was going crazy when I was in Japan, and that was like only, 110 days? That was driving me to the brink of insanity. And maybe I have some effects from that. They say solitary confinement affects people seriously. So I don't know, maybe I have some trauma from those things. I don't know. Maybe I want to get back in the world. Maybe I want to get back in the Japanese government. I think it's just because it's Johnny Somali, the one that got away from Japan and got away from this country and this country. I feel like Korea can do the same thing.
So why am I focusing on Japan right now? Because one of Johnny Somali's biggest fans, a supporter from Australia, is now wreaking havoc there. And just like Johnny Somali, he could also face heavy consequences. But how exactly is this connected to Johnny Somali's influence? To understand, you need to recall what Johnny Somali himself said. He claimed that Japan treated him unfairly, but in truth, Japan let him slip away. And now, South Korea seems to be following the same pattern.
Got the most views. I became the most infamous. But to charge me with all these like minor crimes and like lock me in this country for months for doing that, I feel like is still not right. I feel like it's both. I don't think I'm right, and I don't think the government right here is right.
I'm a nuisance. I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect. I just feel like I'm antagonized and demonized, like, and canceled to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm insensitive to cultures. I went to Japan. I made fun of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Made fun of the statue in Korea. But should people try to kill me over that?
Did you catch that? Johnny Somali admitted it himself. He still believes South Korea will release him soon. He thinks they won't keep him locked up for long. And even if they do, he expects it to be short, just like his time in Japan. After that, he's counting on an easy deportation to another country where he can spread even more chaos. But it doesn't stop there. Johnny Somali has repeatedly confessed that he knows what he's doing is wrong. Yet at the same time, he insists that if South Korea punishes him, it would be unfair to him.
Koreans that I've seen have been very upset.
Why are they taking it so serious? Why do you think?
Like, just it's kind of disrespectful and stuff.
You saw what I did in Korea, right?
Yeah.
The statue?
Yeah.
I look at myself, I'm just a comedian, I'm an entertainer, I'm here to entertain my audience. Like, you know Borat?
Yeah.
I look at myself like that.
I feel like it's my story, it's my life, and I want to live it. And I don't like to be controlled. I have a problem with authority. And now I feel like these people on the internet that want to cancel me, I feel like they want to control me. They want me to sit down, shut up, be a boring content creator, be a boring live streamer, but I want to be me.
So Johnny Somali, you openly said people shouldn't harm you for what you've done, but then you also claim you don't deserve punishment? Are you seriously trying to fool everyone? If 1 million people voted, aside from a handful of your die-hard fans, the majority would want you locked up for 50 years, because everyone knows you'll never change. And tricks like these aren't fooling anyone anymore. Nobody is buying it. Later, Johnny Somali even said that everything he's done was just entertainment, because in his words, he's an entertainer and a comedian.
Yo, Bonnie Tokyo, have it on you.
Why the your heart on sticks? Obsessed with dicks like you can't feel shit. Did I miss? Or do you miss when you couldn't hear all that fucking...
So what do we see after all of this? Johnny Somali has a bag full of excuses to shield himself. Sometimes he plays the race card. Sometimes he says he's an American citizen. Other times, he pretends to be mentally unstable. So if anyone thinks the Johnny Somali saga is truly over, they're mistaken. There's still a high chance he'll return with the same excuses, unless South Korean authorities hand down maximum punishment. What's your opinion? Share it. And here's the update I mentioned earlier. An Australian version of Johnny Somali is now in Japan, trashing their culture and pulling shady stunts just like him.
An unhinged streamer has actually robbed Japanese graves. This is absolutely a crime. No, I thought that Johnny Somali was bad, and indeed there are many bad things about the Somali case, but robbing graves has to be at the lowest pinnacle of streamer depravity, the lowest pinnacle of going for clout. As human beings, we should have respect for one another, and we should look at those that have passed away, those that are, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, sisters, and look at the places of rest with respect, with dignity, and thanks for what they did. But for a streamer to go out of the way to intentionally rob these graves is out of control.
So
as you've seen, this disruptive streamer is now disrespecting the dead in Japan. And this isn't some minor issue. Even legal professionals are now stepping forward, warning that another Johnny Somali copycat is damaging Japan. Clearly, shady streamers like this must be held responsible. And if they've been influenced by Johnny Somali, then they should not only be permanently banned from streaming, but also face real prison sentences. As you saw, Johnny Somali may have even pushed his fans and followers to commit such acts as a form of revenge. What do you think? Could this be just another Johnny Somali tactic to dodge consequences? Share your thoughts.